All righty. Hello, 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 everyone. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings. All right, we are going to do a quick little tutorial here. Everybody's to go to Legoland. Oh, okay. So in a group that I'm in, someone posted a picture of a PNG of a countdown to Christmas. You can say tracker or kind of like a calendar. It's not like a dated calendar. It's just, 1 through 25. So starting in like December. So it'll end up being a countdown counter or tracker or calendar, however you want to, however you choose to describe it. And what she wanted to do was take the PNG and be able to make it where she could cut it from 3 different colors of vinyl to put on, hold on, Papa, to put on a cookie sheet so that you can use magnets and basically track the days until Christmas. Now, as you can see here on the screen, I've technically already done it because I want you guys to see, that you can do this literally with any font that you choose. There are certain designs that you don't necessarily have to, pay for because they're really, really, really easy to create in Silhouette Studio when you just understand the concept. All right. So we are going to go through the full on step-by-step of how you would design this and put it all together in Silhouette Studio. You can do this in the free version. You do not have to have a machine. You don't have to have Designer Edition, Business Edition, or anything like that. You can do this from the free version of Silhouette Studio. Okay. Nighttime. All right, so let me just share this out real quick over on this platform. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and copy. Oops, wait a minute, hold on. So while I am sharing this out, it's kind of cool that she posted this question and it's like, all Christmassy because this year we are doing 25 days of Craftmas again. So anyone that's been around for a while, you know that myself, Gucci Crafts, Alexis, and like Ratisha, Ebony, it was Olivia, Doreen, like quite a few of us where from December 1st through the 25th, we get together and we do different crafts for 25 days, right? So it is, we like to call it Craftmas. So this is kind of, a precursor to that. We have a couple of weeks before we get started. So be on the lookout for that over on the DIY Crafting Network, okay? Over on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, is it on YouTube or is it just Facebook? One of those. All right. So let me just go ahead again. Let me just share this out one more time. I have a little guest here because even had to go help my mom move something. So we have a little guest here with us. Are you excited for Christmas? Yay! Yes. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? All right. So I'm going to show you what was, like what the inspiration behind it was. So this is the image that was posted in the group. So she has a PNG version of this that she purchased. But someone said, hi, Zion Imani. Hi. So she had a PNG one, but because she wants to cut it from vinyl, it needs to be vectorized. So for crafters, the common term is like SVG. However, an SVG is simply a file format. Like you'll be able to save it as an SVG, and then you can take that SVG file and open it up in like Cricut Design Space, Leonardo Design Studio, a StarCraft Creative Studio, or I think it's what it's called, something like that. You'll be able to take that file and now use it in those softwares, or just use it VersaWorks, well, not VersaWorks, for the GravTech, things like that. So it's called vectorizing it, where you're going to create cut lines, because as a JPEG or a PNG, it is just flat. Okay. So I'm going to show that how you can trace it, if you have it and you're really, really adamant on using the fonts that they have selected. I get it. A lot of the times choosing fonts can be the hardest part, the longest part of creating a design. So sometimes it's easier just to kind of go off of what somebody else created. You like their selection of fonts, but it's really, really easy to create. So even if you're only saving yourself $1, it may have been a file that was only $1, but you can save yourself $1, but gain so much more knowledge with using the software. And the more you use it, the better you become at it. And it'll be easier for you to conceptualize and actually create your own designs. But this can be traced. I'm going to show you how to do that. It will require 2 traces, but I'm also going to show you how to put this together utilizing your own fonts. All right. So if you are ready to learn, go ahead and put in the comment section, ready. Let me know if you are ready to learn. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready for Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh, God bless you. All right, there we go. I'm like, I figured it might have been a little bit of a delay. All right. So we got a couple of readies over here. And hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so much for jumping on with us today. All right. Okay. So you're so sleepy. I know.
Yeah. Are you sleepy?
No, I'm not sleepy. All right. So once I created these earlier, I saved it as a JPEG file, just so that I can show what you would have to do with the file if you needed to trace it, because all you had was the PNG file that you purchased or you downloaded. Okay. So on this one right here, as you can see, when I double click on it, it has 4 dots at the corners, which means it's flattened. That means that it's a JPEG image. Well, because it has white, it could be a PNG as well, but this was saved as a JPEG. So because it's flattened, you cannot separate the colors to be able to cut it from different pieces of vinyl. So we have to trace it. So we're going to come over to our trace panel. We're going to go select trace area. I'm going to place my box. And I'm going to take my threshold down. And in this case, it's going to capture the red areas. Okay. So let's see. Where are we at? Come on now. How many of you guys here currently use Silhouette Studio for designing? And also, guys, don't forget to like the video, double tap the screen.
Yeah.
Show some love so that the broadcast can be distributed out to those who need this information. All right. So what I'm going to do is I like to take my scale down. So I'm just going to take my scale down, and I'm also going to adjust my threshold. Once I take my threshold up, it's going to basically cover everything that has color in it. So I want to get it down to, I'm going to isolate one of the colors. So we're going to take this to the red section. Now, I know you are. 1 second when Daddy comes back. Now, this would technically trace, anything that's yellow, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little hack, which, I consider this to truly be like a little hack, so that we're not picking up what's in the middle, because I'm not really worried about that, because all of that is going to pick up once we go to do the second trace. And I don't want to have to figure out what I need to delete and just have way too many layers. So I'm going to show you guys a really cool hack, real cool trick, something to speed up your workflow. What I'm going to do is mask that area off so that it's not a part of the trace. I'm going to do that by grabbing a rectangle and just placing that over this section. Okay. And silhouette doesn't trace white. So we're going to fill that in with white. Go up to the fill tool at the top and fill that in with white. Give it a moment. It's going to take away everything else once it actually fills in with white.
Ooh, I don't like.
There we go. All right. So that's gone away. So now I'm going to hit trace.
Two on my favorite. See on my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow on my favorite too.
Green and yellow is your favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know why my computer's acting very, very slow right now. All right. So once we have that first trace, we're going to come back in. I'm going to take the white and move that out of the way. Now I want to go select trace area again, place my box, and this time I'm going to take my threshold all the way up so that it traces basically everything that's there. All right, so I'm going to take my threshold all the way up. Okay, and we're going to hit trace.
Why do you have to do that?
I have to do that so that we can cut it with vinyl and count down until Santa comes. All right. Now that we have it traced, we're going to click on the original, move it out of the way. And then I'm going to drag and select everything and just fill it in with the color. I always just choose like a random color. Okay. So this one here, I'm going to make this the green color and then send it to the back. All right. So now I have this technically orange color. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to make that red. All right. Now I need to release this so that I will have all of the pieces so that I can actually cut, the corresponding colors. So I'm going to click on, I don't have to worry about the red section. I only have to worry about the green one. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click and release compound path. That is going to make everything flood with color. That's what we want. You're going to click off. It doesn't matter where you click at, just click anywhere on the screen. Then you're going to click on the outside rectangle, hold down shift, click on the inside rectangle and let go of shift. Then right click and make it a compound path. That's how you'll get your frame. Now for all of the other letters and numbers that have like internal parts, like internal cavities, we have to make those a compound path so that they actually cut out. So we're going to go ahead and drag and select over the R. I like keyboard shortcuts. So I'm going to go Control E, Command E on a Mac, and that just makes it go so much faster. Countdown is all together. So I'm going to just select the whole thing and make that a compound path. Then we have to do like the 4, the 6, the 8, the 9, the 10, 14. Actually, I'm going to do all of the double numbers. I'm just going to make them a compound path. That way they stay together.
Wow.
All right. So now when we get to this section right here, I'm going to click the inside circle, hold down shift, click the outside, let go of shift, and make that a compound path. Then the 25, we're going to select those and make that a compound path as well. Now you can go in and fill in the colors however you want them to appear. So I know I have everything right now is green. So I'm going to select what should be red. So the H, I'm going to hold down shift, the I, the T, the A, and then the second dot and, the even numbered dots. And then also 25. We're going to make those red. I'm going to hold down shift, click on the red that we created. I'm going to group that together. Then we're going to click on countdown, make that black, drag and select everything else. and make those black like all the other numbers and group that together. And then we're going to come in, select everything that's green. Select the first one, hold down shift, click on everywhere that there is green, and group that. Once I have mine filled with color, I like to turn the line color off just so that I can, fully see it. This is ready to go and ready to be cut. Now you can add registration marks on it if that will help you line it up better. You can use the parchment paper method to line it up, whichever method you choose. Now I do plan to do this as far as putting it, not in this video because we don't have cameras or anything set up, but I will make one of these. Got to go to Dollar Tree and get a cookie sheet. All right, but now everything is set up where it's ready to be cut and placed on your, if you wanted to use it while you're doing magnets, you can, like I said, put it on a cookie sheet or anything where, the magnet's going to stick to it and you're going to move the date. You can sublimate it onto a dry erase board. Like some of them are already sub ready, some are not. You have to put laminate over it, and then you just use a marker to mark it off. That way you can reuse it again. Also for next year, you can, literally put it on anything. So this is a vector file, but you can use it as a print file as well. Just leave it all together and then just print it out. Now, that's if you really wanted the fonts that you saw on whatever site that you found it at. But this is actually really easy to make yourself, and we're going to show you how to do that as well. All right. And then once I show you how to do it yourself, you let me know which one do you think is better. I can't tell you, do it yourself, you're going to get cleaner lines and a much better result. All right. So you want to measure or know the size of whatever it is you're going to put it on. That way you can make a box that size. I'm just going to pretend like we're going to print this on 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So I'm going to make a box and make it 8.5 by 11. Okay. Let me zoom into that. And I'm going to go to my, what's the thing? Lord Jesus. Oh God, offset. There we go. I was about to say inset. I'm going to go to my offset tool. I'm going to do an internal offset. Most printer margins is about 0.125. I'm going to just take this and make sure I'm nowhere near the edge. So I'm just going to go 0.35. All right. So that's just to make sure that when it prints, I'm not going to go outside of my print margin. Now I want to create the frame part. So from this one, I'm going to do an internal offset. This offset will be however thick you want that frame to be. So let's see. If I go 0.25, not bad. If I go 0.5, that's kind of thick. So let's go with 0.3. 0.35, all right? So I'm going to hit apply on that. I'm going to fill that in with color. I'm going to fill this outside one with color. So I want you to see what's going to happen, all right? So I'm going to take the purple one, hold down shift and select the orange one, or vice versa. You're going to right click and make it a compound path. That's going to give you that frame. Now we want to make rectangles. Now, the width of these, it depends on how big you want your stripes to be, okay? So I'm just going to, and you want it to be super, super long. You're not trying to make it the size of the box. You want it to be super, super long. Then we're going to fill this in with color, and we're going to make some duplicates, okay? So I like to use keyboard shortcuts, Control, and then my arrow key. You can also use the replicate function. There is a way to do this with the advanced replicate, but we're not going to get into that. If you want to know more about the advanced replicate, we've actually used that in a few of our design challenges. And it's also a full day in the 30-day training over on our website, shop.hsink365.com. All right. So I'm going to just make a bunch of these. Doesn't matter how many it is. It's better to have more than to not have enough. Now that I have that, I'm going to click on like the second one. So every other one I'm going to delete. So I'm going to click on one, hold down shift. And like I said, every other one we're going to delete. All right. Then I want to drag and select over all of those rectangles and group them together. Now I'm going to rotate. You can choose to rotate it by 45 degrees or like use your rotate if you want to be a specific, angle for your stripes. I'm just going to rotate it like this and place it right here. Okay. Now we're going to take the purple one, copy it, and then I'm going to paste it in front. I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to click on the green. You know what? My students always know I like to duplicate everything before I make any modifications. So now I'm going to click on my stripes, hold down shift, click on the purple. And depending on, so my students know if you're taking my training on Silhouette Studio, there is a difference between subtract and cropping and what's going to be left behind and how it has to be set up. But for this, I'm just kind of creating stripes. So it doesn't necessarily like full on, like really matter. So I'm just going to use crop because the stripes are behind. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to go crop. All right. So you can see those lines. We're going to go ahead and group those together. And then I'm going to paste in. Oh, what happened to the other? It didn't actually paste in front. Okay. So now I'm going to go paste in front. All right. I'm going to make that green and just send it to the back. So you can see the stripes there. I'm going to click on the, I'm going to click on the purple ones. We're going to make that red. The way that this is set up right now, the red would layer directly on top of the green, and that will ensure that you won't have any gaps. Like if you're layering it and it's a little bit off, when you do it this way, you're not going to have any gaps between the colors because the red is going to layer directly on top. You just have to make sure that, of course, it lines up top, bottom, and side. Now, if you do want it to cut all the way out, like you want it, you want the spaces in there, you're going to hold down shift and select one, hold down shift, and you would go over to modify and just go subtract all. It's going to look like nothing has changed. However, now there are breaks in the green. That's up to you. Me personally, I prefer it this way, but that's a personal preference on whether or not you want it to cut all the way through or not. So let's get rid of this. We don't need trace anymore. And we're going to use this one. We might use this one. So we're just going to attach y'all to. There we go. Okay. So there's our frame. That's literally the hardest part. Now I think selecting the right font is. So we're going to come to the A on the left-hand side. Click anywhere on the screen. It's going to give you the flashing blue line. Put it in all caps. And we're going to type out Christmas. Click off. I'm just going to duplicate mine, bring it down, double click, select it all, take off my caps lock, and type in countdown. I like to fill it in with color. And we're going to focus in on Christmas because every other letter is a different color. So while it's still in text mode, we are going to double click and you're going to highlight each letter and make it in this case, red. So every other letter, we're going to make it red. All right. Now you can change the font and it's going to show it to you with the two colors. I'm just going to click on that and you'll see no matter which font I choose, it stays in that format with the two colors. This is why I like this method better and doing it yourself. You can choose it based off of your style. or if you're going to make these for, to sell, or, make them for like a kid's class. Like I can make some of these and put them on small, like find some small magnet boards, maybe gift it to Zani Mani's class. So if I wanted them to have different fonts and things like that, make it fun for the kids to choose like which one they want, but also can cause issues because, if they run out of the ones that somebody really wanted. So, again, personal preference. But you can make these if you know exactly who it's for. You can do it based off of their personality. Do they like bold fonts? Do they like thin fonts? Do they like script fonts, whimsical fonts, things of that nature, okay? So I'm just going to use this one because I don't want to overthink it. And then for countdown, it can be any color that you want. I'm going to keep it like the original and make it black. And you're just going to choose a font. I actually kind of like that one, but it's a little too thin for this one. All right, so let's see. I like to turn the line color off so that I can see exactly how it's going to look. Actually kind of like that one too. All right, so we're going to just stick with that one. All right. And we're going to position that here. Grab from the side. I'm going to make it as big, or you're going to make it as big or small as you want it to appear. Place it where you want it. If you want this to be shrunken down some, you can do that. If it is a script font where it is connected, make sure that you do weld it, unless you're going to use cut edge when you go to cut. So we're just going to line that up. Now, for our circles going across the middle, we're going to go back over to the shape tool. Go over to the ellipse tool. Hold down Shift and make a perfect circle. That's going to be green. And we're going to make a duplicate. So I'm just going to go to replicate. I'm actually just going to put a couple of them there. Okay. And we're going to make every other one. So I'm going to click on one, hold down Shift, do every other one, and make it red. Now I'm going to take this one and move it down some. Let's say about there. Hold down. I don't have to hold down Shift. We're going to click and drag over all of the circles. Come back over to the transform panel and spacing horizontally. We're going to click on that. It's going to give us our spacing. If you want less circles, you can remove some. If you want them to be smaller, you can resize it and then respace it. That part is totally up to you. You get to completely do this yourself, customize it based off of your personal preference. That's the joy of learning to utilize design softwares, especially for designs like this. It's not a lot, but can make a big impact on your confidence and just learning design softwares and just knowing that you did it yourself. You design, like I said, it's just your design. All right, so we're going to just place that right there. And I'm going to go ahead and group together the green and then group together the red. Now we have our dates. So on the original one, they had their setup where it's like 1 through 6, 7 through 12. So you can choose to do it this way. I felt like it was easier just to do 25 days, 5 days on each line. So what you can do is we're going to come here. Now that you see it, you can type it out yourself. 1, 6, just type out how you see it here. So that would be 1, enter, 6, enter, 11, 16, 21. Okay. And we're going to go to let's move you. Let's close you out. Textile. Let's go ahead and just center that. You can put more spacing between it now and duplicate this and then do the same thing. So I'm going to select everything that's in there, 2, enter 7, 12, 17, 22. Okay, oops. So you're going to create all 5 of these. And once you have all 5, ooh, my fingers itchy. You can then change up the fonts. Now, for me, I actually did individual numbers for this. You okay, bud? Thank you for the roses. So I did individual numbers for mine. Just in case I wanted to maybe make like 25 a little bit bigger so it stands out, any, things like that. So, but once you have it set up, they cannot be grouped together. So you just have to drag and select them. But once again, you are able to customize this to your liking. So you're able to change the font based off of whatever theme you're going to create. I like this one. So let's say I wanted to have more of a jungle type theme. I would be able to do that and not have to do like red and green. I can use whatever colors. And because they're now individual, I can select here, use my transform panel to realign them because it was a little bit off based off of this particular font. All righty, buddy, okay? All right, so we're gonna just move that over like that. So that's why I personally like to have them as individual numbers, but you can do it the way that I showed as well with, now that you know them, and just do kind of one row. Or like I said, type them out and use your alignment tools. But once you have that, to create the circle around the number, you can either do it as a perfect circle or you can do it as an oval. So I'm just going to go to my ellipse tool. Zoom in over here. And then we're going to go to the ellipse tool. You're going to make a circle or oval around the number. And you're going to do an offset. You make that offset as big or as small as you want that ring to be around the number. Select those. So I'm going to fill in with color so you can see, make it a compound path, and there you go. It's ready to be, to circle 25. And we're just going to select everything that's here. I'm going to bring it on over to where's my one I just created? Is that up here? Nope. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you go. So you can see right now it's a little bit big. So I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt, shrink this down. And I'm just going to ungroup this real quick because I want to copy this font right here. So I have Designer Edition, so I can use my properties dropper and then just select this and it's going to automatically change it. And I can move this up. Then I think this was red, this was green. And we're just going to select everything that's here, shrink it down a little bit, maybe so now you just play around with the placement of it. If I wanted these to come out, I'm just going to, this is not lined up. There we go. So now I'm going to group that, maybe move that over some, group these. I'll just have to realign everything. Yep. Group it. Let's realign this one and group it. Realign this one and group it. And then the last one, I'm going to hold down Shift, deselect the ring, just so that I can align just the numbers and group those, move my ring wherever I want it to go. Actually, no, before I do that, let's move this over and this one, and we're going to select them all and space them horizontally. And then put this here. Probably make it just a little bit smaller. There we go. Like I said, you can now make this whatever color you want. If you want to keep the font in font mode, just make sure that you make a duplicate of it. Because right now I'm going to ungroup this so that I can group together all of the colors and then change them together. So the green, we'll select that green, this green, and then, oops, I have to ungroup this. So we're going to select the green there, the green dots, the green letters, the green outline, and group those. So now I can change those to whatever color I want, and they will all change. So now we're going to go in and select all of the red areas and group. Oh, wait, did this? Oh, we're going to send this to the back. There we go. I was like, wait, where all my color went? So now we're going to select the red, hold down shift, select the red letters, the red dots, the red outline, group that together. Bam, I'm now able to change those colors and make it fit whatever my theme is. Maybe your Christmas in your house, you want the countdown counter to match. Maybe it is shades of blues and grays or, whites and things of that nature. You are able to fully customize this, whatever color vinyl you want to use, or if you want to use this and actually print it out. All right. And that is how you create your own Christmas countdown counter, tracker, calendar, whichever terminology you want to use. Any questions? Like I said, I'm not going to cut these out today, but I will show you if you are cutting this from vinyl. I'm just going to do standard 12 by 12 sheet or piece of vinyl, and we're just going to go paste over here. You can either leave this on the mat, and then when you go to send, you can do cut by color. Everyone has access to cut by color. It is not a designer edition or above feature. Okay. We're going to just go over to the fill. When you go over to send, if you go to fill, because we filled everything in with colors, you're going to see all of the colors that you have here. Deselect the top. And then you can select the darker blue because you have to remember, the darker blue and the lighter blue, they're covering the same amount of area. So you can leave them all together. You don't have to cut them separated and put one on there. Like if it was like a little small piece and things of that nature, that's a little bit different. But it's literally going to cover the same amount of space as far as vinyl because of the outline. So I would go in and select the lighter blue so you can see only the the darker blue is selected. Uh-oh, my tripod's acting all wonky. Then once that cuts, you're going to, do all your settings, send it to cut. I'm going to turn this one off, then select the lighter blue, and that one will cut. Turn that off. Now, if you want, you can let the black cut exactly where it is, or select the whole thing, move it up to where the black is closer to the top of the vinyl, and then select black. And we're going to bring that whole thing down some and let that cut. And then you would put it together. But that's how you would cut that. Or you can, if you're one where you'd rather see it like separated. What the heck just happened here? Since everything is grouped together, you can just pull it apart. We're going to group this and cut it that way as well. That way you don't have to worry about going to the different colors. You're just going to put that color on the screen. And when you go over to send, you're going to use the standard or simple cut, and it's just going to cut whatever is there. All right. All right. If there are no questions, thank you guys so very much. If you enjoyed this DIY tutorial for how to utilize simple shapes and text and fonts and things in Silhouette Studio to create your own Christmas countdown counter, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what did you learn new, if anything you learned new, what was the best part of it for you. Be sure to share it with a friend. If you are watching over on YouTube and you have not subscribed yet, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Select all. That way you are notified whenever I release new content, if I go live, or just make a post over there. If you're on Facebook, you want to change your notifications to see first. That way you are notified. If you're watching it on the phone, it should pop up to where it will say like follow or change notifications so that you're notified whenever I go live. And also, we are the home of Honestly Speaking products. So make sure that you guys head on over to our website. If you are someone that does sublimation or you need pigment ink for your workforce printers, accessories, we have digital files over there. We're actually going to have some Christmas files coming up over on the website. It's been a while since I've added to the digital file library, but we do have some new files that are coming up. A lot of the ones like are for like family shirts, and if you're, oh whoa, what was that? Hold on. All right, there we go. We have some uh files coming up to make like matching pajamas with different sayings and stuff like that on it. So that one is coming to the site. So head on over to shop.hsink365.com. That is where you're going to find all of our products. You're going to find our classes, our digital products, the challenges. There is no challenge for this week. I know I'm supposed to do one, guys. It got really, really crazy. We had to do some moving around. I had an order to do for a service program. It got really crazy. So I didn't get a chance to, send out the information. I'm just going to push it back a week. All right. But everything else is found here on the website. Don't know why it's showing blurry, but you should have no problem accessing the site. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.